What's going on, everybody? Jason here, and today I've got this 2022 Ram 1500 Sport. Now, before we jump right into this 2022 Ram, if you haven't already, please take a second and hit that subscribe button because we're so close to hitting 1,000 subscribers on this channel and it would mean a lot. Also, it does help with the YouTube algorithm, and the best thing, it's free. With that being said, let's jump right into this beautiful 2022 Ram 1500 Sport. First, we'll take a look at what trims you can get. Now, they're exactly the same as, before, the trims that you can get for the Ram 1500. And like always, you can get the Tradesman, BigHorn, Sport, which you're looking at right now, Rebel, Laramie, Longhorn, or the Limited. And if you're planning on getting the 2022 Ram 1500 Sport GT, then you'll have to get the 5.7 liter V8 Hemi with the e-torque, which is going to make you required to get the GT package. And same goes if you're looking to get the Rebel, you are required to get it with the 5.7 e-torque, but on the Laramies, it's optional. Now, when it comes to the safety features with this 2022 Sport standard, you're going to get the advanced brake assist and the forward collision warning with active braking. However, if you pick the level 2 equipment group, you're also going to get the park sense front and rear park assist with stop, the sensors in the front and the rear. Now let's start off in the front of this Sport and take a look at what's going on. So first of all, you'll notice it's in the beautiful bright white color, and with these you do get the matching front and rear body color bumpers, of course, and all of your lights are LED. So you've got these front fog lights which are LED, of course, and then you see the sensors which I mentioned for the front park assist. Now if you move up to the face of the truck, it's pretty much exactly the same as the 2021s. You've got the black grille, black Ram logo, and then the body colored surroundings with these beautiful LED headlights. One thing that I did notice on the 2022 Ram Sport models, the non-night editions, is the grille. Correct me if I'm wrong, because from what I'm noticing is the non-night edition models have this new grille compared to the night edition models, which have the standard grille even from the 2021 models. So I believe this is new for the 2022 models on the Sport non-night editions. And if you move towards the hood, this has the standard hood. Now, of course, you can get the optional upgrade to get the Sports Performance hood. And in my opinion, that would look way better on this truck, but some people don't actually like that and they prefer having this one. And then you've got your 1500 badging on the side of the hood for both sides. Now, if you take a look at the Ram Sport from the side view, you can see there is one big difference from what I noticed also are the wheels. Typically on the 2021 ones, you would still get the 20-inch wheels, but they would kind of be the aluminum finish, chrome type of a finish. These ones are the 20-inch premium painted polished wheels, and these are standard on all of the non-night edition Sport models. You can upgrade to the 22-inch wheels as well, but these ones also look really nice because they're already blacked out. And then of course, you also got your blacked out badging, so you see the Ram badging, and on the rear I'll show you as well. All of the badging is all blacked out as well for you, so it's perfectly good, especially if you don't like the whole front end being fully blacked out and you want the body colored front end, and then your badging you want blacked out and whatnot. Also, you still get your body colored side mirrors. Now these are power folding mirrors, which is amazing, especially if you're going through tight spaces. And also standard with this is the keyless entry, but because this truck has the comfort and convenience group, you're also going to get the remote proximity keyless entry. As for the key fob for the Ram Sport, it's a very traditional, typical key fob to any other Ram truck. You've got your unlock, lock button, tailgate release, remote start, and your panic button. And of course, on the rear of the key fob, you do have this nice Ram logo. And another upgraded feature on this particular truck that you can also get as well, standard, you'll get the 3.21 rear axle ratio, but this one has the 3.92 rear axle ratio. This Sport also has the bigger bed at the back, or you can get the shorter one as well. And coming to the rear of the Sport, you can see these beautiful smoked out in black LED lights, which just look amazing. And then in the center, of course, you've got your sensor. So starting things off in the bottom, you'll notice again you have your rear park assist sensors. You've also got your upgraded hitch, and then of course your beautiful dual exhaust going on there. And then right above the hitch, you do have your plugs and wiring and all of that for your trailer. Over on the tailgate, like I was mentioning on the side, so you've got your Sport badging blacked out, you've got the blacked out Ram head logo, and then the 4x4 blacked out as well. Now if we go ahead and open up the tailgate, you'll notice there's no spray in bed liner or anything like that. That's because you can get that obviously as an optional upgrade if you needed to, but if you don't, you're going to get obviously the body colored bed. You're not going to get any of the LED bed lighting or the adjustable tie down cargo hooks, because all of that will be a part of your bed utility group. Another great feature that comes standard on the 2022 Ram Sport models is your rear power sliding window. Now this is a very convenient feature to have. Now as we make our way to the rear of the Ram Sport, you can see on the door trim it's very typical to the 2021s and all of that stuff, because you've got your leather, you've got your plastic and all of that, and at the bottom you do have a decent amount of room to put whatever stuff, and then of course for cup holders, and then above that you do have a little bit more room to put small little items, and then at the top you do have this nice black accent trim that goes throughout the whole truck, which just looks very nice and sleek. Also, because this has the leather and sound group package, this also has the 19 speaker Harman Kardon sound system, which just sounds absolutely beautiful. Now in terms of the interior and the seat trim and whatnot, the only thing that you can get are the vinyl cloth seats, and the only interior option that you have is obviously black on black, which you're looking at. However, you'll notice that these back seats are fully leather, and that's because this has the leather and sound group. Now if you go on Ram Canada's website and you take a look under the leather and sound group, it will not show the full leather seating package for some reason, which is weird. And also because this has your comfort and convenience group, you're also going to get your rear heated seats, which is very nice to have, especially with winter coming up. And then of course, if you pull down the center handrest at the back, the only thing you'll have in there are 2 cup holders, if obviously you don't have a third person in the middle. And just like any other Ram 1500, you can obviously pull up the seats at the rear, so you have more room in the cabin to put whatever you need to if you decide not to choose to take advantage of your bed at the back, or if it's just full of stuff. You have a ton of room in here once those seats go up. Another one of my great features, which are standard on the Ram Sport models, are your in-floor storage bins. Now these are very convenient, especially if you want to use them as coolers or for extra storage inside of the truck with things that you might want to just hide away and not be in plain sight. You have these in the back. And of course, behind your driver and passenger seats, these are fully leather back seats, which is amazing. And of course, they both have your map pockets. Over on your center console for the rear passengers, you've got again 2 more cup holders up top and that nice black accent trim that goes throughout the whole truck, like you'll notice in the front as well. Below that, you have a little bit of room to put a wallet or a phone or whatever. And then of course, like I mentioned, this does have rear heated seats, so you've got your buttons there, USB ports, and then a 115 volt plug at the bottom. Now as we make our way to the front of the Ram Sport, the door trim is exactly like the rear, of course. The only thing is the bottom section does have a little bit more room, of course. Everything else is pretty much the same. You've got 2 speakers, of course, in the front, and then you've got more of that nice black accent trim. On this one, you do obviously have your window controls, your power folding mirror controls, and then your driver's side seat is memory seating. Now as for your front 2 seats, whether you get the leather and sound group or not, these will be heated seats in the front. However, like I mentioned, because the leather and sound group has the full leather seats, not only are they heated, they're also ventilated front seats. And of course, these seats are very comfortable. Also standard with these seats, your driver's seat will be power adjustable, whereas the passenger side will be manual adjustable. But if you do end up getting the leather and sound group, then you do also get the power passenger seat as well. Over at the bottom, nothing too fancy, just your foot pedals. But if you do go above that, you do have your electronic parking brake, and your foot pedals are power adjustable, which is very convenient, of course. And then in the center there, you do have your hood latch release. Moving above that, you do have your lighting controls for the front, LED fog lights and all of that. And then right next to it, you do have your dimmer and your steering wheel. This one is a manual adjustable steering wheel. As you make your way inside of the Ram Sport, you've got kind of like a mixture of leather with some plastic and all of that. And then on both corners in the front, you do have your speaker system, and in the center you do have another speaker as well that obviously says Harman Kardon. Now if you end up going with the tech package, which you can also get on the sport models, you'll also get the heads-up display and your rear digital mirror. As for the center gauge cluster, this is a very typical standard gauge cluster, of course, from any other Ram 1500. And same thing in the center, where you can move things around, you can see your speed, you can see all sorts of different information about your truck and have whatever you need to have in front of you, which is very convenient. Also, as for the steering wheel, like I mentioned, it is a heated steering wheel and it's fully leather wrapped, which is nice. Now on the steering wheel to the left, you do have your controls for your center gauge cluster, of course, like I've shown you, and then of course you do have your Bluetooth controls as well. And to the right of the steering wheel, you do have controls for your cruise control control stuff, and your gear limit selector. Behind the steering wheel on the left side, you do have controls for your indicators, high beams, windshield fluid, washers, and all of that. Now over on the right side behind your steering wheel, not only do you have of course your engine start stop button, but below that you do have your knob for your gear selection, and then your typical 4-wheel drive auto, 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive high, 4-wheel drive low, and all of that good stuff. Moving over to the center, you have this massive center handrest, which is a fully leather handrest along with that nice Ram badging. If you go ahead and open up the first section, you have a decent amount of room to put whatever you need to, and of course you do have another USB port in there as well. Now if you go further than that, you open up the main section, not only do you have this nice measurement table, but you have a ton of room that Ram trucks are known for, because the slider in the center does slide back and forth, so you have space in the back and in the front. And on the actual slider you have a decent amount of room to put more stuff, and then of course your front cup holders. If you go ahead and slide that center slider back, you have, like I mentioned, more space at the bottom in the front, but also you have another 115 volt plug, and above that you do have space to hold 2 phones, and you get a wireless charging pad, which is going to be a part of your comfort and convenience group. And right above that you do have a small storage space, and next to that you do have more USB ports and an auxiliary port as well. If we move further above that, you do have a bunch of buttons. So you do have your parking sensor buttons for the front and rear to turn them on and off. You've got your tow haul mode, traction control, and this truck also has the upgraded trailer brake control. Moving on to this iconic 12-inch touchscreen. Now typically if you do not upgrade to the 12-inch, or if you don't get the leather and sound group, you're only going to get the 8.4-inch touchscreen. However, whichever one you get, you are going to be getting the new and improved Uconnect 5 system, which is way better than the older system, because with the new Uconnect 5 system you have more options, better things that you can do on this compared to the older one, and this one is obviously more responsive, more crisp, and all of that. On your home screen you're going to have option to have a kind of like a split screen, or if you go into my pages you can add a page, and you can also change the layout, so you can have it kind of like a 2-screen system, a 3-screen system, or a 4-screen system. And then if you move into the media section, you've got your typical AM, FM, Sirius XM, and also now new with the Uconnect 5 system, you can wirelessly connect via your Apple CarPlay or your Google Android Auto system. Over on the comfort side, you do have controls for your heating and cooling, or you can use the side buttons on the screen, and then you also have access to your heating seats, ventilated seats, and your heated steering wheel. Next to that, you've got your navigation, so you get this nice full screen navigation system, which is very responsive, and if you're low on fuel, it'll let you know what you have around you in terms of gas stations, and this can also be turned into a 3D map as well now. Next to that, you've got your phone settings. So with the Uconnect 5 system, you can now connect 2 phones at the same time. Next to your phone is your vehicle settings. Here you'll see controls for your mirror dimmer and your rear view camera. If you go into your rear view camera, you've just got this one section here that you can see, just a standard view. Finally, if we go into apps right next to your vehicle settings, here you have different applications that you can scroll through, go into, fine tune, and all of that. And now the Uconnect 5 system does support Alexa as well. Also, with this new system, your bar at the top of the screen is a touch bar, so if you press any of the buttons, it brings down a shortcut menu for you. Moving above your 12-inch screen, you've got more of that black accent trim like I was mentioning throughout the whole truck, and you do also have some space to put something up top along with a 12-volt adapter. Above all of that, you do have your rear view mirror. Also, like I was mentioning, if you do get the technology package, this can also be turned into a digital rear view mirror. Moving further up, you do have a bunch of controls for your tailgate, interior lighting, assist and SOS, and then of course your rear power sliding window. However, if you did get the panoramic sunroof option, you would also have buttons for those. Moving over to the passenger side, in your glove department, it's a pretty standard glove department to any other Ram 1500 in terms of space, but if that does get full, you do have a secondary one up top which you can kind of put more things in. And if you go ahead and close that section, you have this nice sport badging right on there, which just looks really nice. Now, when it comes to what powers this 2022 Ram 1500 Sport, you can get two engine options. The first one is your 5.7 liter Hemi V8 fuel saver with MDS, or you can get the e-torque one as well. But this particular one has the fuel saver MDS. So with that, you're gonna get 395 horsepower with 410 foot-pound of torque. When it comes to how much you can tow, depending on the spec that you get of the truck, whether it's crew cab, quad cab, 4x2, 4x4, etc., your maximum towing capacity is going to be about 11,400 pounds. And here's the window sticker for the 2022 Ram 1500 Sport. On the left side, you can see at the top the typical exterior colors, interior, engine options, and all of that. Below that, you've got your standard equipment, what comes standard with this truck, and underneath that, you've got your optional equipment. Now, as you can see, this truck does have a decent amount of optional upgrades, and yes, on here it does show Rebel 12 for some reason for the leather and sound group. Not sure why, but that is the leather and sound group. And then you have a bunch of other options as well. And then you've got your total price at the bottom. This is in Canadian, and this is minus any dealer discounts or manufacturing discounts being offered. And that does it for this 2022 Ram 1500 Sport. Like always, let me know in the comments down below, do you love this truck or do you hate it?